Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game that's currently on Kickstarter from Fire Opal Games called Wrestlenomicon. Wrestlenomicon is a two-player game where each player is controlling one of the elder gods. So one of the decks is Hester, I don't know, and the other deck is Cthulhu. And you're going head-to-head trying to knock the other person out of their 25 hit points first. So you're going to have 25 random cards that are set aside. They're your life points. You're trying to move your elder gods through this realm to get them to ground zero so you can duke it out. Some cards are going to have special abilities. That's enough. Let's go down to the table. Just see how it plays. Okay, so here we have Wrestlenomicon set up with both decks. I have Cthulhu on this side, Hester, however you want to say it on this side. To finish setup, each player is going to have 8 cultist cards. They're going to come into play based on some other cards that you play, so they're just hanging out next to it. You're going to have 25 cards randomly removed from the deck. They're going to be your life. As you lose life, you're going to discard one of these cards out of the game. When you hit 0, you're dead. The rest of your deck's going to be here, and each player is going to get a total of 7 cards. So let me show you what the cards look like a little bit. So the cards are going to look like this. They're going to have a name that's just flavor text. They're going to have a type of card they are. They're going to have an ability that happens when you hit ground zero. Then they're going to have a slam ability, which will happen if you're fighting a monster of that type. The 3 right here is going to be where you're going to place it in the realm. And the 1 is going to be how much it's going to manipulate other cards toward ground zero. Black means it affects your side of the realm. Red means it affects the opponent. So that's his example card. That's in a monster. Yeah, all these. There's defense cards which come into play when someone's attacking you. You can play this to block some defense. So just attacks, monsters, defense, and then some permanents that go out in front of you. You can have 2 permanents in front of you at a time. So each player is going to be set up the same. There's also going to be the realms. So this player will be playing on this side. Cthulhu will be playing on this side. Battles cannot happen until players are at ground zero. So once you hit ground zero, whenever you hit it, you're going to attack the other player. Once the first person that hits ground zero, if there's nobody else, gets to do the regular attack plus the bonus attack. So that's that. All right. So in this turn, we're going to let Cthulhu go first. I'm going to play through a couple turns because you'll get the gist of it after that. So on your turn, you're not going to draw a card. The only way you can draw a card is by passing. So on your turn, you can play a card. 1 card. Either to the realm in front of you if it's a permanent, or you can pass your turn and draw 2 cards. So that's what you're going to do. So in this turn, I'm going to play a monster. So I'm going to play this monster. You can see right there, it's going to go space 4 on my side. So I'll put it on space 4. Then it has a 2 arrow. I'll be able to slide something down to determine who goes first. You're going to play your highest card. I didn't do that. So just know each player will play their highest card. Whoever's the highest gets to go first. But in this case, I just went first. So I'm playing that. I don't get to move anything because I don't have anything to move. So that's my turn. This player, they're going to play something. Let's see. They're going to play a permanent. So they're going to have a permanent. So that says they're going to roll a die, and they're going to get that many cultists. So they'll put that down in front of them. So you'd have a D3 die. I don't have any D3. So in this case, we're going to have a 1-2 be a 1, a 3-4 be a 3, and a 5-6 be a 3. So in this case, this player is going to roll a D3. So they get a 3. So in this case, that would be a 2. They get to take that many cultists. So what happens here is the cultists then become a part of their tableau. And what happens with a cultist is you can discard a cultist to move people in your realm over an extra space, and then it just goes back into your cultist pile to be used again later. So now this player has a permanent, and they have 2 cultists. All right, then it's Cthulhu's turn again. They're going to play this card. They're going to play this card at 5, and it's going to manipulate a guy 3, so they'll play it at 5. This one can then move 3. 1, 2, 3. They're closer to ground zero now. Then it's this player's turn. They are going to play their first bad guy down, and they will play this one at 5. They don't have anybody to move, so they're not going to do that. Slide this down there. Then it's Cthulhu's turn again. And they are going to play this one. Nope, not this one. They'll play this one. It's a 3, and you can see the 1 with the exclamation mark and the arrow. That means all other people in your realm can move 1. So that goes there. This one goes here. This one slides down 1. All right, so now we're battling. They don't have anybody to fight. So this is going to happen. What happens in the battle is going to happen. So I'm going to roll a d6. If I roll a 1, 2, 3, I get to draw that many cards. And then they're going to take that much damage total, okay? And because I'm the first person there's no baddie, I also get to do this. So I get a reroll, keeping the new result up to twice. So that's awesome. All right, so I'm going to roll the d6. I got a 5. So I don't get to draw any cards, but this player loses 5. So they'll go into their life deck. 5, and they will get rid of those out of the game. Now they have 20 health. And that card stays there, and I'll just keep stacking on top of it. And I can also re-roll. I'm not going to re-roll, so we'll ignore that. So now it's Hester's turn again. And they are going to play this guy, a 4. It's going to let them move somebody 3. If you want to move, you can skip over somebody. As long as you don't land on them, it's not an issue. 1, 2, 3. So now they're at 2. And they're done. Going back to Cthulhu. Cthulhu's going to play a permanent right here. When I play it, the other player loses 2 health, and then I have the ability at the bottom. When I zero a bizarre attack, I get to gain a cultist. So I'll play this in front of me. They're going to lose 2 more cards. And then that's my turn. So then it's Hester's turn. And they are going to play another baddie at 5. They're going to move something else too. So they're going to do this, move this down here at 2. So they're at ground 0 now. And they're going to attack. So this says for each enemy tracked card, draw a card. So there's 2 enemy track cards. So they get to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And then it also says it slams range. This is not a range, that doesn't apply. All right, so I think you get the gist. This is essentially how the game's going to play until somebody gets knocked out. At that point, the other player is the winner. And you can flip back and forth and play opposite decks. But yeah, that's a little bit how it plays. And let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. So that was Wrestlenomicon. This game, man, I got to tell you, for a Cthulhu game, which is not something I'm normally into, this is a very fun game. I like that the artwork is bright. It's not dark and creepy like most Cthulhu games. And I like the mechanisms of playing a card in any spot that you want, and then certain cards let you move other cards down, getting closer to ground 0. That's really neat. It's interesting how you are trying to figure out, do I want to play this now? Do I want to hold on to it? Do I want to use this to get some cultists? Because those cultists can come in, and then if you can move a guy 2 spaces, but instead you use a cultist, and now you can move him 3, and it'll get you to ground 0, and just keeps piling on and piling on. So good. I played both decks. I played the Hester, however you say it, and Cthulhu, and I won using both decks. So, I don't know. Sounds pretty balanced to me. Sounds cool. They played kind of differently. The green deck green Hester, kind of duked it out a little more, stuck it to you. The black deck was kind of loading up your realm and then moving it slowly, so you just do attack, turn after turn after turn. So yeah, they play differently, but both very fun. This game is something that I think if you're into Cthulhu, if you like 2-player battle games like, like war style games or Magic, where you play a card to attack your opponent attacks a card, and you're trying to just be the person who lives the longest, I think you'll dig this. So there'll be a link in the video or in the description of the video. If you're interested, you can go to the Kickstarter page and check it out. And then it'll probably be in retail, I would imagine, after that, but I don't know that. So start with Kickstarter, help it fund, and then you can get your copy. And yeah, you can just play and have some fun with Cthulhu. So that was Wrestlenomicon. See ya. Keep gaming.